Hello, and welcome to the History of the United States. My name is Matthew, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Hello, and thank you for joining me for the premiere episode of History of the United States. This is episode 0. Welcome to the History of the United States. Today we're just going to do a little introduction of this new series. I'm Matthew Stanley, your host for this series, and this is likely the only picture that you will see of me during this entire thing, so enjoy it. I've had many careers in my lifetime, but after receiving my bachelor's degree in U.S. history, my first career was teaching history to high school students. History is my passion, and as my wife and kids who have carried the boxes through several moves can attest, I have quite a few books on the subject. I love to read, research, and even write U.S. history. So I'm doing this project as a creative outlet, number one. Number two, I want to see how many of you out there who are going to watch and listen to this show enjoy history as much as I do. So I'd love to see and hear your comments. And I also want to provide a resource for all who may want it. If you do enjoy this, please like, share, subscribe. It all helps the channel. Thank you. So here on History of the United States, what are we going to be covering? Well, I think it's pretty obvious we're going to be talking about the history of the United States. But we're going to do it in a little bit different than you might get in a classroom. The common way to teach U.S. history these days is thematically, sort of chronologically, but mostly looking at themes throughout U.S. history. I'm going to be looking at U.S. history chronologically rather than thematically. We're going to start at the beginning and work our way through year by year to the present day. The level of detail that we're going to be going into on this show is very detailed. We are going to far exceed what you would get in any kind of college course on the subject. I have no idea at this point how many episodes it's going to take to reach the end. I have no idea if I will live that long, to be honest. Hopefully, let's keep my fingers crossed. I'm hoping to live to the end of this. I would love to see the end of it. The format of this show is going to be both video and audio. Primarily, it is an audio format as a podcast. And if you're listening to me right now, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. But it's also a video as well, video format as well, that will be put up on YouTube. It is in a PowerPoint lecture format on a video. And the video images that I'm going to be showing on those PowerPoint slides, they're supplemental. They're not required. You don't have to see them. Right now, if you're watching, you see our logo, you see content, you see format. Okay, it's not much. It's much like a professor would throw up on the board when he's doing his PowerPoint in class. So they're not required, and I'm going to try to refer to them as infrequently as I can. I might say something like, hey, there's my picture, which I just did on the previous slide. And there I am again. I'm talking about the slide. Anyway, I'm going to try to refer to them as infrequently as possible because this is primarily an audio format. I've always listened to podcasts such as this while driving around in my car, and that's not at all conducive to video. But if you're at home, laying in bed at night with your phone in hand, watching this video, great. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. That's it. All that said, I really do suggest that you, even if you're listening on the podcast, go back and watch the videos occasionally, especially when we discuss any sort of geography or battles, as maps are extremely useful when talking about history. Or if I say somebody's name and you go, who is that? And I want to see a picture of them. I wonder if he had a picture. You can go and I might have had a picture up of that person that we're talking about. That being said, there are images in these videos that will possibly have copyrights. Many of the images I'm going to be using will be in the public domain, but those that are not will be properly licensed and cited in the slide. I'm a firm believer in intellectual property rights, and I wouldn't want anyone stealing from my material either. So that's just the way I feel about that. Like I said, this is going to be a lecture-ish show. As a former teacher, lecture is my default mode, and I know people like stories, and I'm going to try to inject some human interest type of material into these, but my purpose in making this show is informational primarily. And if it entertains as well, that's going to be great. If you're here to find out about me, I'm not going to probably share a lot of personal content, especially here at the beginning. As I gain subscribers, as I start interacting with comments, as I start bringing things like that up in the show, perhaps some personal stuff will creep in. I'm not sure at this point, but my primary goal is to stick with the history. My target length for these shows as I start this project is approximately 15 minutes. I'm trying to keep the length to basically a car ride across town. I'm not going to cut off a cliffhanger. I'm not going to just chop it and go, well, that was my 15 minutes. I'm done. Boom. I'll finish the story. Don't worry. So some may run longer than 15 minutes. But some also may run short as well as we approach a new topic. And I realize, hey, this is a good natural breaking point right here. I don't want to start a new topic and run way long. All of that said, though, how many teachers have you had that know when to stop talking? But I promise I will try, at least here in the beginning, to keep it to 15 minutes or less. Some of you may ask, do you have a website? Can I download the images from the website? Not at this point. I don't have a website. Perhaps in the future. It is in the back of my mind. It's not even something I'm tackling yet. I'll keep you updated should that occur in the future. It is something I would like to do, but it's a stretch goal at this point. But you can find us on YouTube. You can find us in podcasts as well. How often am I going to post a show? Well, that's going to be my target again, starting off, is 1 per week. That's the goal. But as you know, life can get busy. I do have a wife and kids. They are in school, so things happen. We'll try to get one out per week, though, and I'll try to pre-record some as well so that I have ones to fill in during those busy weeks. Also, this show is not meant to generate revenue for me. I'm doing this for fun, but if you guys happen to want to chip in at some point, I will post details about how you can do that at some point as well. And if it does generate even a couple bucks, that'd be great. That's all for today. I do want to thank you for joining me, and please join me again next time when we talk about the European discovery of the New World. And here's a little hint. It's not about Columbus. So thank you for joining me again today. I appreciate it. And remember, the Constitution only guarantees the American people the right to pursue happiness. You have to go catch it yourself. Thanks. Bye.